She pees on a bucket. The first scene of the movie, we see the main character, a grandma, get a bucket, sit on it, and pees on it. Now, that scene itself sets the whole movie in a very different manner. It sets it in a way that is disgusting, icky, but at the same time, really normal, and it's what it happens. It's the setup of the scene, the environment is actually in the provincial areas where technology and civilization really isn't integrated as much as the ones in the city. So the things that they do back then, they still do it right now. And the fact that our main character is 100+ years old, that sets up a different kind of scene and a different story. Hi, I'm MC Lorenzo. In case you haven't figured it out, today I am reviewing the Filipino movie, Lola Igna.
Pwede ba akong umihi? Wala. Anong pinagsasabi mo? Nakakahiya.
Throughout the movie, we see our main character, our grandma, Lola Igna, actually pee on the bucket from the first scene. Now, when we get to the middle and to the actual kind of end, you kind of see more of her peeing in a bucket, but that's not really the story. The story of the whole movie was the fact that Lola Igna could be a world record holder of the longest living person in the world. And that's great, especially for the rural area that they live in. Everyone doesn't really have much of way to live, to earn money, and the economy is kind of down in the rural areas. Now, when Lola Igna suddenly gets popular, all the tourists flock in. And with that, the businesses around her, especially her granddaughter, uses that as a chance to propel their lives forward in a financial way. What I like about Lola Igna is that she is very independent. She does the same things over and over again by herself, and she refuses to ask help from the people around her. Granted that she is old, and that's kind of an excuse, like a legitimate excuse to ask for help and don't be looked down upon by people, but she's still very independent and tries her best to do things her way. Kind of stubborn like most old people, but yeah, that's how she is. Also, I like the fact that Lola Igna doesn't really have much of an edit button. She says what she says, whatever she thinks, and mostly I think a lot of old people are like that, especially when you're over 100-year mark. It doesn't really matter what you say, she just blurts it out. And the things that she blurts out, like I need to pee, and all these things that are really kind of funny, uncomfortable, depending on the situation and the people around you. It's kind of weird, but at the same time, you kind of get it. That's who she is. And I like the fact that she portrays who she is. And at that age, you should, right? When I first saw Lola Igna talking to herself, I thought she had dementia. I thought she had mental issues already. But when I found out she was talking to the photograph of her late husband, I immediately knew that there was still love. There was still hope, and there was still longing for that relationship. And it goes throughout the movie. Her goal in life was to be with her husband, to die and be with her husband. And why not? You're 100 years old and you have done everything that you can out of life. You lived it to the fullest. And sometimes, and I kind of understand where she's coming from, that she wants to let go and be with the love of her life, literally the love of her 100-year life. And that's kind of heartwarming for me when I first saw that, and I loved it. Going into Tim, Tim is the great grandson of Lola Igna. The story around Tim is that he is a runaway, he has problems, insecurity issues, family issues, and all of these typical things. The way it was centered on, I get that he is kind of overdone. Like the character itself, like a teen, runs away from his family because his family doesn't love him the way he thinks he should be loved. And all those little tidbits, and he runs to a family that he has never known before, and he tries to pick up and make up a relationship that he couldn't find in his mother. I get that. That's a trope that has been done before, and I understand that it's a different setting, but I wish there was something more to it. Not that I don't think that the actual character is lacking, but what I feel like is the acting. Like I wanted to feel a little more emotion, and I wanted to cry for the character. I want to feel something for the character, for Tim, but it just didn't feel like I did. I felt more connected with the other characters in the story other than Tim. But Tim has like a lot of things, a lot of scenes in the movie, and I wish I really did connect. Nita is the granddaughter of Lola Igna, also the aunt of Tim. Now, the character itself is a typical woman who lives in the provincial area and sees like the wealth, the potential wealth that comes out from Lola Igna's popularity, and she grabs hold of it. Now, this isn't really anything different from what we've seen before, but I kind of wish it was more funny because her character had the potential to be really comedic because she is after like her grandma's popularity and she gets a lot of cash from the tourists coming in. She gets to sell more t-shirts of Lola Igna, and I get that. And I wish there was more funny scenes around her. I know her character's been overdone before, and you know, other movies that had this type of character had so much funny scenes going on with them, and I wish Nita was the same. I give this a rating of 4 out of 5. There's a lot of things here that we don't usually see in other Asian dramas, particularly the life of simple living. A lot of the Asian dramas are set in the city or at some particular exotic place, and it's all about the characters, the main characters falling in love or running after a criminal or all of this mystery stuff. Lola Igna kind of cuts through that and shows us simple living, simple drama, simple heartache, but at the same time really, really relatable. Because whatever background you come from, whatever social issues that you have, it's still rooted into love and family, and I really like that. It's about connecting with people and disconnecting with people. It's nice. I also love the twists and turns of the movie. I thought there wasn't going to be any twist. I thought it's going to be just cruising the movie, like looking at what she does, how she grows, or how she actually dies on that sort of context. But it's different. It was like, oh, why? Oh, that's sad. Like a lot of these twists, like, isn't really hard hitting, but very unexpected. And I like how that actually comes through. This is a very comedic movie. What I also love about it is that she has her fans. At the first scene where she meets her fans, she throws the bucket of pee at them. And then the next scene, she actually goes to them and takes selfies, and she's like really popular now. I like the growth of how she came to embrace her new popularity. And I also like at the scenes where she is at the funeral, she just blurts out really bad things. Like it's common and it's normal, but it's really rude. But yeah, it's funny. My only negative thing about the whole movie was the ending. It's a sad ending, but I feel like it's necessary. So this is very subjective. This could have gone to a 5 out of 5, but I felt like because I wasn't satisfied of the ending, I cut down a star. Aww. But then again, I don't know. It just feels kind of a seesaw for me. I just don't really feel like it should have gotten a 5 out of 5 because of the ending. But at the same time, logically speaking, I think they went at it at the right way. So you gotta watch the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah, do watch the ending and you'll be surprised at how it goes. My recommendation is it's less than 2 hours. Definitely watch it. It's something different. If you're craving for something different from the whole romance stuff that you see in Asian dramas, or the whole action stuff and the mystery and the magic and all of those things, if you want something simple, definitely watch this if you're in the mood for that. And yeah, it's really, really good. If you found this video helpful and enjoyable, do give me a like. If you want to see more reviews of Asian drama series and films in the future, definitely hit that subscribe button and that bell button for notifications so you will get to see the video when it does arrive. I leave you with my favorite scene. My favorite scene was when the other granddaughter, Nita's sister, comes back home to Lola Igna and they all reunite. There was a short scene, a family reunion scene. It was short but really sweet and heartwarming, and it was nice seeing all of them together and solve their issues out. And it was really, I don't know, I really felt it, and I like that scene. I guess that's it.